Dobro jutro, Divine Pisces 222. It is Sunday, December 29th, 2019. Only a couple more days left in the year, guys. Yay! Also, I did want to announce that after the new year, I will be offering twin flame connection checks. Information will be on my website. It is a live service, so we'll actually have to schedule a time to be face-to-face, whether that's on Zoom or Skype, something like that. It is a 15-minute live service, so really excited to be able to start offering that. And of course, I know I mentioned this a couple of days ago, but I'll be resuming the private mini reading sessions starting next weekend. It's $20 to get into the live, and I can take up to 10 at a time. So if you have any questions about that, just send me an email, and we'll get that set up for you. And yay! All right, let's go ahead and get this started. So yeah. So I do feel a lot of twins kind of back in this doubt energy. Not really trusting the path right now. I'm feeling a lot of fear, a lot of trepidation. Almost feeling lost. I feel a lot of twins are lost right now. And I'm not sure if that's the masculine or the feminine energy I'm picking up on. It could be both. Could be both, because, you know, we're always mirroring. So, if you're having these doubts, if you're having these worries about what you're doing, you know, go within and try to consult your spirit team about that, because there could be something that's still not revealing itself to you, or maybe you've closed yourself off from that being revealed to you. Does that make sense? So it's like you're not quite seeing something that needs to be dealt with, okay? And so it's coming through as insecurities, coming through as fear, that sort of thing. And I do feel very strong longing with the twins right now. I feel a lot of twins feel not only lost, but alone. It's like they're back in this energy of the 3D outweighing the 5D. So I find this interesting because, I don't know, maybe it was yesterday, I got an email from Twin Flames 1111, Cassidy. I've subscribed to her little newsletter thing, and sometimes she's got some really, really interesting insight. And I find this card interesting, the longing card, very interesting, because she stated, and this is true, if you were born as your twin, and your twin's gender, twin's body, vehicle, whatever you want to call it, had their life experiences, you would be them. And the same would be true if they were born in your body, your gender, had the same life experiences, they would be you, because you're the same soul matter. So this idea of longing is very, very interesting, because you're already connected in the 5D. Okay, it's already there. So I feel a lot of abandonment issues coming in. It could be where this fear is coming in. I feel a lot of twins probably reflecting on their lives, realizing how much of their lives they felt alone and misunderstood by others. Victimized almost. I feel a victim mentality definitely coming in here. Probably want to clear that out. And reevaluate why you're feeling that way, okay? And it may bring purging, okay? Just keep that in mind. It may bring a lot of purging. But a lot of twins, I think this is like one final purge before the end of the year, which will bring a lot more clarity going into the new year. And I feel a lot of twins definitely being called into their purpose right now. Those who have not stepped into purpose, they're being called into purpose. And that's what this final purge is for. It's like clearing the way for some sort of revelation that will be coming. And I feel that definitely happening in 2020. I've said this before and I'll say it again. 2020 is going to be a very transformative year for a lot of people. I feel just a lot of aha moments, just a lot of... I feel stability coming. Stability, balance, peace. And I do feel that some boundaries have been put up. And I feel this is both ways. I don't feel this is necessarily just divine masculine, just divine feminine. I feel both energies have put up some boundaries with each other. And the other possibly, feeling a little rejected, left out in the cold, that sort of thing. But the boundaries that are being set are for their highest good. Okay, so if you're feeling that way, again, might want to evaluate why. Again, a lot of insecurities coming in, a lot of doubt and a lot of fear. So get yourself grounded. I feel this is very, very important right now for a lot of twins. I feel a lot of twins are in their heads. They're overthinking things. Okay, so a lot of twins still in ego right now. And a lot of twins still in darkness and trying to emerge from that darkness. So a little bit of dark night of the soul coming in. I feel some inner conflict, definitely, but still some conflict in the connections and also conflict in karmic situations. And I feel a lot of twins kind of having a hard time finding their way out of that darkness. So again, like this heavy longing energy, really, really strong. I'm gonna release that. It's toxic. It's toxic. Woo-hoo. All right, let's take a look at divine masculine here. Interesting. Okay. So, again, divine masculine here, it's really highlighting finances. Ooh, and it's skipping. Divine truth. Okay. A lot of divine masculines still focus on money, on the 3D aspect of things, the material. I do feel some of them, most of them actually, working on this, actually. Trying to get into a position where they don't feel codependent. They don't feel the need to be taken care of. Or if they are conversely taking care of someone else, they want to be in a position where they can still take care of themselves properly. Because I do feel a lot of divine masculines are definitely in an energy where they feel like either A, they're being taken advantage of, or B, they're leeching, and they don't want that. They don't want that because in a way that strips away their power, right? And so a lot of divine masculines are still kind of working on their own fulfillment, kind of understanding what that means. And making decisions based on their own fulfillment, not making decisions based on them, based on people around them or the expectations that are placed on them. And I feel like this almost should be sideways. It's like a transition, because divine masculine still in ego about the 3D aspect of things, and to be fair, masculine energies in general, masculines, not even just masculine energies, but just masculine men, usually when they're growing up, it's kind of drilled into them that their self-worth is based on how much money they make, based on the things that they have, based on like basically this lie that they have to fulfill others in order to be loved, in order to be happy, in order to be fulfilled. So that's where a lot of this is coming from, and it's ego. It's ego driven. I definitely feel a tower coming for Divine Masculine, if they haven't hit it yet. I definitely feel it coming, okay? But yeah, a lot of them are actually rebuilding from towers right now, but they're just clinging really, really tightly to the financial right now. They just are. So a lot of them still in ego right now, just keep in mind, okay? And I do feel a decision coming as regards finances, okay? And it kind of feels like they're stuck in indecision. They're really not quite sure which way to go, so they just stay the course that they're on, instead of making a decision. So definitely some indecision coming in here for sure. But I definitely feel that the universe is trying to come in and communicate with them, and they may be feeling this, okay? Again, dreams, visions, signs, synchronicities, things like that, downloads. And a lot of them, again, are in their feminine energy right now, so which is really opening them up to their intuition. Their spirit team is communicating with them. The universe is communicating with them. They're getting a lot of information. Some of them are very, very overwhelmed by this information. They don't know what it means. It's freaky. It's something that they probably never really experienced before, and so it's just kind of putting them in this energy of not really quite sure what to do, of how to move forward. We got a lot of pentacles here, and I also feel like I'm also getting some insecurities, some fears here about Divine Masculine towards the feminine. Divine Masculine, I'm getting some Divine Masculines have some insecurities around Divine Feminine stepping away. Some of them are maybe worried that Divine Feminine may have options. And to be fair, I mean, I've said this before, the universe has a way of balancing the scales, okay? So Divine Feminine, you're doing the work. Divine Masculine is not doing the work. He's not progressing. The universe is going to bring in something better, okay? So that being said, I mean, it is what it is, but that's why... Actually, Liz says this a lot in our Guided by Angels. I love her so much. But basically talking about, if you're doing the work, masculine's not doing the work, say to the universe, my twin or something better. And the universe will provide, okay? But yeah, Divine Masculine really clutching onto 3D things. Very, very much in ego right now, okay? And it's a cycle they're going to have to break on their own. Divine Feminine, only thing you can do is work on you. Remember, okay, you really can't do it for them. They're facing their karma. That's their karma. They're going to face it. And there's nothing you can do to really help that, okay, except work on you and face your own karma. Which I do feel a lot of Divine Feminines are facing karma right now. I'm getting mostly past life karma here. So, if you haven't done a past life regression or something like that, I definitely would recommend doing that, just to kind of get some clarity maybe on what kind of karma you're dealing with. And you can do that yourself. There are plenty of meditations on YouTube that'll help you do that, okay? But yeah, I mean, okay, so Divine Feminine also kind of focusing on the material right now. So it's being mirrored. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling some insecurities coming in for Divine Feminine, specifically as regards finances. And I know a lot of Divine Feminines have been going through transitions, and I know this is true because, I get y'all's emails. I read y'all's emails. I see y'all's comments. I read the comments. I also watch other readers, and I see, the similarities and the mirroring that's happening in a wide variety of connections. And, every connection is different, absolutely, but there are similar themes, okay? That's why I always say it doesn't resonate for anybody, but take what does resonate, okay, and don't make it fit. So a lot of Divine Feminines are focused on money right now, and a lot of them are just trying to get to a point also where they can be self-sufficient. They don't need anyone. They want to be completely and totally free of any need whatsoever external from themselves. Okay? And so that being said, I do feel some triggers definitely coming in for Divine Feminine. Some very heavy ones. I'm definitely getting abandonment here. Rejection, for sure. And almost just like, just a general frustration for Divine Feminine. And I don't feel this is necessarily about the connection itself. I'm just getting a lot of, like, inner child stuff definitely coming up, I would say. Past life stuff definitely coming up. Feeling a little overburdened by it. I definitely feel some towers coming for Divine Feminine, but you know, everything that's happening is here to teach you balance, to teach you patience, to teach you how to come into inner peace and how to work through these triggers that are coming at you. And once you work through them, once you recognize them, you'll notice how much easier it is the next time something triggers the same response, like the same emotional response. That's when you're just kind of at the point where you're like, okay, I know what this is. This is from whatever. And then you're like, all right, I can purge this and release it, right? I don't need it anymore, right? So Divine Feminine, learning patience. It seems to be the mantra for Divine Feminine. And I know in this lifetime, patience is probably my greatest lesson. And going through like my inner child stuff, my inner work, everything. Yeah, it's pretty much everything in my life has been there to teach me patience. And it's like, the more impatient I get, the more frustrated I get, the more resistant I get, the harder it is to be patient. And it's because it's like the universe is like, all right, well, you're showing resistance, so we're just going to keep you waiting. We're just going to keep you in this state until you release that, until you release the expectation, until you release the frustration, until you surrender. So Divine Feminine getting beat down literally by triggers, by the universe, until she finally says, enough, I surrender, I give up, right? And so, you know, with that lesson, with the patience lesson, of course, comes once you release, once you surrender, then comes the abundance. Then comes the ability to manifest, because you release all the negative energy, right? And so Divine Feminine, I do feel, you know, is kind of, it's almost 2 steps forward, 1 step back here with Divine Feminine, okay? And it is what it is, just deal with it, right? But I feel like Divine Feminine also, some self-worth coming in, some self-worth issues coming in for Divine Feminine. And that's being mirrored. It's definitely being mirrored. Okay? But again, what it's doing is it's helping her find her strength. So Divine Feminine, I do feel for the most part, Divine Feminine is standing in her power. But there's still this little tiny sliver of doubt and fear coming in, which appears to be kind of throwing her a little off balance now. So it's just like the universe trying to get her back on balance, back on track. And I know with the holidays and with, like, you know, the family stuff and the kids and stuff like that, it can be really overwhelming. And a lot of people get very depressed around this time of year, just in general, okay? And that's why. It's like there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of people pleasing, there's you know, having to be around family, interacting with family, and sometimes, you know, you, depending on what kind of family environment you're in, you know, sometimes you really do have to hide who you really are around these people. And so I do feel that Divine Feminine right now is definitely a Queen of Swords energy. Setting those boundaries, not just with Divine Masculine, but with herself and with, you know, external things, of course, you know. And so, I mean, sure, that bitch energy, you know, can be defensive, sure. But I do feel Divine Feminine is trying to do it for her highest good. Although sometimes it does come off as ego. And I will say this, you know, Queen of Swords, you got to be careful with that, because sometimes the Queen of Swords is in fact an ego move, and you may not realize it is. okay? So keep that in mind. As long as you're setting boundaries because it's for your highest good, and you're not setting boundaries out of retaliation or anger, frustration, whatever, then, you know, it's fine. And you got to do what you got to do, regardless of what anybody else thinks of you, okay? It's like, yeah, I'm a bitch, and I'm proud of it, so deal with it, all right? So, messages from your counterparts. Dealing with the triggers. Yeah. 5D communication is really up, guys. Really up. Some Divine Feminines have blocked 5D communication too. I know that's the case. Do what you gotta do. You know, like I said, as long as it's not an ego. And it's for your highest good, then you've got to do what you got to do. Okay? Let me get a couple more here. I really do love these cards. They're so pretty. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I definitely feel growth happening with the twins right now. Like I said, all these triggers, the towers, the insecurities, the inner child stuff that's coming up. It's coming up for a reason. It's coming up to show you something that needs to be, you know, healed, right? And so growth is happening because of that. I do feel growth in the twins, growth in the connection itself, but just individual growth within the twins is happening right now. A lot of I cannot talk. Illumination. We're just going to say illumination because I can't talk today, okay? Throat chakra has been actually really closed off for the last about 3 or 4 days. Like, yeah, really, really scratchy, and I don't like it. I'm trying to clear that out, but yeah, I mean, if you're going through this transition, if you're going through this, it really is an ascension, but it's really more of a transition right now. A shift, right? Just keep in mind you are being protected, okay? And actually, I find this interesting because one of my spirit guides is Michael. And Michael comes up a lot when I do personal readings for myself. So it's usually an indication for me that Michael is there and helping me through things. And yeah, so you are being guided, you are being protected right now. There will be celebration, okay? Regardless if you end up with your twin or not, keep in mind that is not the point. The point is you, okay? Period. Make decisions based on you, not based on what your twin would do. That's ego. Don't do that. That's a codependency. That's toxic, okay? Don't make a decision based on someone else. You make a decision based on you and based on your happiness. What would make you happy? Would it make you happy to stay in a toxic situation? Probably not. So get out. Get out, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you end up with your twin. It doesn't, okay? But it is definitely time to face some shadow aspects, okay? It's just time. And again, keep in mind, okay, so the fears, the doubts, the insecurities, things are coming. It's being mirrored. It's being mirrored. You are your twin. Your twin is you. If you think about it that way, it makes a lot more sense, okay? It's not your typical soul connection. It's just not. It's not a soulmate connection, right? Soulmate connection, you can have many soulmates. And yes, they can be mirrors. Trust me, they can. Your karmic can be just as much of a mirror. It's just in a different way, okay? But if you keep in mind, I am you, you are me, it does make things a lot easier. And it kind of changes your perspective on things, too. So a lot of you are in fear energy right now, okay? Not just masculines, the feminines are too, all right? So you need to release that. You need to release that. Call on Archangel Michael. Call on whoever it is that you call on when you are feeling lost, when you are feeling fear, whether that be a member of your spirit team or high level, whatever. You know, it is what it is. And yeah, okay, this is on the bottom of the deck. A lot of you feeling bound, in pain, and stagnation. Get out of that energy, guys. Just get out. You can do it. All right, guys. Well, I hope this has resonated. If it has, please like, share, subscribe. And I guess I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.